The Battle of the Windlass kicked off Week 6 with the Flyers and Flames. As expected, it was a close match, with the Flyers coming out on top 7-6 and getting their first win of fall 2009. The Flames fall to 0-6 and will try again next week when they play the Force from the North in Week 7. The Flyers will try and make it 2 in a row as they take on the Lightning, who are coming off a bye week.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, it could be like that. You can walk out, Carrie. Go ahead. Go ahead. What? Shoot.
In Game 2, the 4-0 Generals met up with the 2-2 Force from the North. This was a heated game right from the get-go, and it was the Force from the North coming out victorious in a 7-3 final. This was the Generals' first loss of the season, and will look to get back on track next week in a match against the Jets, and it will be the Force from the North versus the Flames. It was the game of the week with the Moose against the red-hot 5-0 Jets. The Moose were completely dominant and took a surprising 5-0 lead into the final 20 minutes of play. The Jets continued their struggles into the second, getting outscored 6-1 and a final score of 11-1, advantage Moose. Since losing a close game to the Generals a few weeks ago, the Moose have been making a statement the past few games, which is something we've seen for years with this team. Up next, Cool Beans, and we will see the Generals against the Jets. After a huge upset win last week against the Force, the Hawks took on the stiff competition, who have also been hot of late with a couple of victories in their last 2 games. The Hawks star goaltender Arthur Garand was unavailable for this game, so the less experienced Lee Traeger had to suit up between the pipes. The stiff competition won in convincing style, blowing out the Hawks 14-1. In Week 7, it will be the stiff competition on a bye week, and the Hawks will get a look at the Hitman.
He's just roughing it up. He's like all over them. She'll be at the top. that?
She'll be at the top for scoring. She's only 1 point behind me. And I didn't get none. Eileen didn't get none.
I think she scored last goal.
After a week off, Cool Beans was back in action, this time against the Hitman. It looked as though the Hitmen were well on their way to victory after taking a 4-1 lead. But the Beans stormed back, eventually tying it with just minutes remaining and ended in a 7-7 draw. Cool Beans now gets the tough task of taking on the powerhouse Moose, while the Hitmen and Hawks will meet up in Week 7.
My name is Fred Cody, number 18, stiff competition.
I'm Rob Hendrickson, number 11 of the Hitman.
Eileen Strum, number 7, the Hawks.
Hi, my name's Jeremy. I play for stiff competition. My number is 97.
We are just past the midway part of the season, and a reminder to all players and teams, the top 4 teams will qualify for the Division 1 playoffs, with the next 4 qualifying for Division 2. In the event of a tie in the regular season standings, the following criteria will be used to determine final positions. All players are required to play in 3 regular season games in order to qualify for the playoffs. After your team has played their 8th game, the rosters are officially frozen and no new players can dress for the remainder of the season. This rule does not apply to goaltenders, as only 1 game is required to qualify for the postseason. That's it for this edition of This Week in the MBHA. We'll see you next week.